Hi guys, would you like to know the top 5 mistakes that amateur photographers make and how to avoid them? Then stay tuned for this short video. Hi guys, these mistakes are the ones that I've gathered over my career as a photographer and a coach that I see regularly being made by new photographers that are trying to break into the industry and really are unsure of how to do that, and the mistakes that I commonly see them making. I'll outline them for you here. Comparing themselves to others, which is creating fear, and that's a big one. Having no website or having an overly complicated website, big mistake. Having no portfolio or a really overdone portfolio with way too many images. A real lack of understanding when it comes to pricing and being in business. And number 5, camera knowledge. Big one. We might not think that that would be a mistake, but I see that quite often. Camera knowledge is a big one. Okay, so comparing yourself to other photographers. That is a really big problem in this industry. It's fine to look at photographers that you admire and love their work and strive to be that good. Strive to have that kind of talent or that kind of education based on what you do. But to compare yourself based on what Joe Blogs next door is getting for their sessions and the fact that they're not as good as you, or you feel that their work isn't up to standard as much as yours, and comparing that your work is not as good as theirs or as good as theirs and they're getting more work than you, that's just going to slow down your business. If you're searching the internet for that sort of thing all day long and basing and giving yourself fear that I can't compete with that woman down the road, she's charging this much money and look at her work, how can I compete with that? Stop competing. You're not here to compete. You're here to be an individual, to be unique, to provide a service to your clients that nobody else can give them. Forget the rest. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Don't think about it. I don't even know how many photographers are in my area. I don't care. I'm only interested in the people that want my work. I don't have to think about everybody else. I've never ever compared myself to other people, and it's worked for me to keep my blinkers on and run my business that way. All I focus on is making sure that I'm educated in my field, making sure that I know what I'm doing in my business, and upping my skills all the time, educating myself more and more and more when it comes to what I want to provide for my clients by way of work, pricing, business knowledge, everything. I don't worry about what everybody else is doing. What is the point of that? The more I worry about what my neighbor's doing in their business, the less business I'm creating for myself. I'm just driving money away. I'm not attracting money to me. I'm not attracting clients to me. All I'm doing is sending a negative attitude out to the universe saying, this is what I want. I want the worst to happen. So I refuse to look at other people's work in that regard. I refuse to see what their price list is. I don't even know half of what people are charging around me. I don't care. All I know is what it costs me to do my business and the profit I need to make. So I don't compare myself to anybody. And I urge you not to do the same thing. Put those blinkers on and focus on the road ahead. Focus on yourself. Focus on creating your perfect product for the client that you want. The next thing that I see a lot of is overcomplicated websites or no website at all. It's extremely important to have a website as a photographer, and a website that works for you. Develop a website that can give you clients. People want to be able to contact you through your website, so you need to have a contact page, you need to have an about section, you need to have your portfolio section. That's about it really, unless you have a blog and things like that you want to attach the links to that. But all you need on your website simply is a home link, an about section, a contact section, a link to any of your blogs that you might have, a testimonials page if you'd like, and pricing if you'd like to have your pricing online, and of course your portfolio. That's about it. You do not need to have hundreds and hundreds of links, 20 odd links on your page. You don't need to have lots of different 100 different images on there, or 100 of the same images. You just need a very simple, eye-catching, easy to navigate website. There's a lot of ones that you can do yourself. You don't need to go and spend thousands of dollars on a website to have a professional looking website. There's such things as Foromat, Wix, WordPress. There's plenty that you can build yourself, and I'll give you those links in the comments below. But the key thing is to have a website. Okay, please build a website, and if you already have one, simplify it. And if you think it's simple enough, simplify it again. The next thing is portfolio. A lot of new photographers don't really come onto the scene and into business and start charging with a great portfolio. I really urge you to spend 12 months building a beautiful portfolio before you start charging money for your work. Make sure that you've got at least 25 different images that you can put onto your website that can be your signature images. These images are the ones that you can never stop looking at and get sick of. These are the images that you can look at every day and never be sick of. The ones that you took and you went, oh my goodness, I can't believe did I actually make that image. 25 of those on your portfolio, and I'm telling you, people will flock to your work and book you. But if you have too many of the same image, if you have too many images altogether on there, people will probably stop clicking after about 10 or so images, and they'll get bored and leave your page. You need to show your range. You need to show only 25 images is pretty good. Is a pretty standard amount to have on a website portfolio. And as you make better images, then swap them out. Take away the ones that you did 12 months ago that, especially if you're just starting out. Take in 2 years, you want to get rid of the ones from the beginning that you didn't really like. So in 2 years' time, when you have, broken through and you're now a professional photographer and you've got a great portfolio, you don't want to keep adding to that portfolio and not taking one away. Every time you add to your portfolio, hundreds of miles away from the one that you began with, take that old one off. You don't want to show people what you used to be able to do. You want to show people what you can do now. So for every image you put in your portfolio, take one out and try and keep it between 25 to 30 images, depending on the genres. If you have a lot of genres that you do, definitely keep each portfolio for each genre very small, as in 20 to 25 images, because you don't want people to get bored. You want to keep the wow factor in your portfolio at all times. You want people to go, whoa, I want that image. I want her to create that for me, or him to create that for me. Okay? Show your range and keep people's interest is the main objective when you're building a portfolio. Make sure it flows and tells a story. Pricing. I've made a video on my YouTube channel called My Top 15 Tips on Pricing for Photographers. It doesn't go for that long. It's about a 30-minute video, and it has my top 15 tips on how to price yourself as a photographer. And there's a few marketing things in there that you can take tips out of as well. Pricing is something that I see a lot of photographers, new photographers especially, making mistakes on. And to keep this industry alive and to keep it a luxury item, we seriously need to reevaluate our pricing all the time. So make sure you're pricing yourself correctly from the start. Price yourself so that you will be happy with those prices in 5 years' time. Make sure you're pricing for profit. Make sure you're pricing so that you're not burning out. Watch the 15 top tips on pricing and get some great marketing tips as well in there for you. And definitely look at your pricing before you start to make sure that you are recognized as a professional by not only your clients but by your peers as well. Camera knowledge, number 5, big one. Having good camera knowledge is having the ability to design your image. You truly need to get your camera manual out and study that. Study about ISO, study about f-stop, shutter, your focal points, your manual focus. It might even tell you in there a little bit about composition and the rules of composition. And please, please start using Photoshop and Lightroom. There's so many new photographers that I've come across that are charging for their work and not using Photoshop or Lightroom to develop their images. Taking your images into Photoshop or Lightroom is like developing in a dark room for it when we used to use film. We never went to a session with our SLRs back in the day, took a photo, gave our client the negative roll. We took it into a dark room, we developed it, and then we, showed the image and scanned that and gave it to our clients that way. You would never think to, not develop an image when we were back on using film. You would never give the roll of film to your client ever. So why don't we use Photoshop? Why is there so many photographers not using Photoshop? We need to remember as a new photographer that the camera is just one aspect of making that image. You are part of that, making that image. The camera is part of making that image, and Photoshop and Lightroom is another part of making that image. So please understand Photoshop. I have a few tutorials on my channel about developing images in Photoshop and Lightroom. There will be more coming, but this is only a new channel, so there's only a few up there, but there's enough there to get you started. I urge you to do a DSLR course of some sort. Julie Willis Photography has an amazing DSLR course that you can do, and within 5 hours you'll be shooting on manual. I guarantee it. I have coaching services that I provide for teaching camera knowledge as well. You can come to one of my workshops. I will be hosting a workshop in May 2014 in Byron Bay, and I will be covering DSLR camera knowledge and all of those things in great detail at my workshop. I will also be doing a few short, very small tutorials about camera knowledge. You can't get the same knowledge. You can get only some knowledge from YouTube and videos such as these, but there's nothing like being in front of somebody and being able to ask questions and go over the camera knowledge over and over and over again until you've got it in person with a coach, a mentor, or going and learning from another photographer. So my top 5 tips would be: stop comparing yourself to other people. Focus on yourself. Focus on your own business and your own work, your own skills. Focus on how you can better your education. Put your blinkers on and just keep focusing on you. How can you improve your business? What are the gaps in your business? What are the gaps in your skills? And what are the gaps in your knowledge? Fix those and concentrate on what you can do to create more business for yourself. Stay off social media for anything other than quick networking and the posts that you need to make and things like that to alert your clients of what's happening in your business. But stay off social media for hours and hours on end, searching and looking at other photographers that seem to be doing better than you. Because I can tell you right now, half of those posts that you see where they're saying how busy they are not true. They're saying those things to give a perception to their clients that they're busy, because perception is everything. And if their clients believe that they're busy, then they're more likely to book them, because people want what other people want. So please don't believe the hype on social media. All it's going to do is depress you, because you're going to compare yourself with them and think, I'm not good enough because I'm not doing what they're doing. It's a load of rubbish. Focus on yourself. Forget the rest. You are the one that is you're the only person in your life that can change your life and make your business what it needs to be. So stop comparing. Focus on your business and your own knowledge and how to fix whatever's going on in your business to get your clients and the money flowing to you. The second thing, build a website, and if you have a website, simplify it And when you think it's simple enough, simplify it again. 3, build a beautiful portfolio. Spend 12 months of your life building a beautiful portfolio. Yes, make money on the side here and there where you can. As an amateur, charge as an amateur and let people know that you're going to be a professional very soon and your pricing won't always be this cheap. Please make them aware of that so that you can build a good client base that is expecting your prices to go up. But in the meantime, build your portfolio. Do 12 months of portfolio building at least. Every weekend, every spare moment you get, go out and shoot something that's going to blow your mind and in turn blow your client's mind so they want to come and book you. 4th thing, educate yourself about pricing. It's extremely important to keep this industry alive that we charge correctly. Okay, I hear it every day that photography, making money in photography is over. Doesn't have to be that way. We can bring it back to life. Okay, we just need to make sure that everybody that is going to be a photographer and that is wanting to get into this business understands pricing and charges correctly and gives the rest of us a chance to charge the way we need to charge so we can make money and have a good lifestyle and have a business creating art that we love. Okay, and the 5th thing, learn how to use your camera and learn how to edit them properly, edit your images properly. They're the top 5 mistakes that most people make coming into this business, and they're my top 5 tips on how to avoid making those mistakes. Thanks for watching, and I hope that I helped you to understand the top 5 mistakes photographers make and how to avoid them, and I look forward to bringing you a lot more topics like this in the future. As always, subscribe to the channel, so like, share, and favourite, and leave a comment even if you don't have a question. I'm Amy Lee, and I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And until next time, remember, a vision without action is just a dream. So like, share, and favourite, and leave a comment even if you don't have a question. I'm Amy Lee, and I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And until next time, remember, a vision without action is just a dream.